Hello, today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to use the paint tool in After Effects and how to animate your paint layers. So first we're going to start off with a new composition. I'm just starting with the new project here. Layer, and I'm going to make it white. Alright, so now we have our base layer, and we're going to make a new solid, which I'm also going to make white. Okay, so now we're going to get this paintbrush tool right here, Command B, and then double click on the layer that we're going to be drawing on. So you can only draw on a solid layer or on a footage layer, but for now we're just going to do it on this white solid. So I'm going to switch these colors right here, and that's the thickness that I have right now, but I want it to be a little thinner. So so basically what the paint layer is you can draw on your layer and it'll stay like that. And basically what this is used for is drawing animations or drawing on top of footage, and I'll put in some examples right now. So once you use the paint tool, you're going to open up your layer into effects and then paint. And here is where you're going to be able to see your paint layer. So here it's highlighted right there, and I don't actually want it like that, so I'm just going to delete it. So once you go to paint, you're going to want to change the duration. So constant, which would be just the entirety of the footage layer or the solid layer, which is what I had it on before. Single frame is obviously, it's just going to be here for one frame. Once you move to the next frame, it's gone. Just like that. And then custom, this could be, I'm just going to choose 24. And then if you draw on here, it'll stay for 24 frames, and then it'll be on. So a second, really. Because 24 frames per second, yeah. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna draw a bike, and I'm gonna put this on constant because I want it to be the whole duration of the video. Right now it's 30 seconds long, my workspace. I'm just gonna keep it like that for now. And I'm actually gonna draw the wheels of the bike first. Okay, so I want these to rotate, and as you can tell, the anchor point is right here. You can't really see it because I drew over it, but the anchor point's right there, and I want it to be in the middle, because if I rotate it from there, it's not going to really rotate like a wheel. So, and I want it to rotate from the middle, so I'm going to move the anchor point, which is going to move the painting, I know, but I just want the anchor point to be right there in the middle. And I'm going to transform this with it. So now I'm gonna keyframe that in, let's say, 4 seconds. Let's do 1. Okay, and I want these lines to rotate with it. So what I'm gonna do, this is called the parent tool. So it's gonna link the keyframes of one animated thing to another. So I'm just going to add this. So here I'm pressing this and bringing it all the way here. So now they're going to have the same animation. See, now they rotate together because of that parent pick whip tool. So I'm going to move this back to where I want it to be. Look at that. So snazzy. I actually want it to be a lot faster, so I'm going to change that really quick. And now I'm going to repeat the step for the next wheel. So now that that's animated, I'm going to go in with drawing the rest of the bike. So that's how I animated the bike, and now I'm going to start with a new white solid, and I'm just going to be spelling out frog in cursive with the paint tool. And you're going to go back into effects. Here you're going to want to go to paint, brush 1, and then stroke options, where you're going to find a bunch of different properties to play with. The start and end point, which I'm going to show you what those do right now. It changes where the end point is and where the starting point is. So here I want it to spell out like as if someone was writing it. So I kept the end point at 0, and then it slowly goes to 100 by the second keyframe. And here you can also change the color. I'm just choosing green for frog. And then next is diameter, which basically changes the thickness of it. And then angle and hardness, those are kind of self-explanatory. And spacing, the paint tool is a bunch of circles. So the spacing changes how far away those circles are, and which can make a really cool effect, but I'm not using that for this right here. Opacity just changes the opacity, and flow is kind of similar to that. It kind of changes the way the brush itself looks. So I'm just keyframing it because I liked the look of it, so it goes from less opaque to more opaque as it writes out. Which you can see I did right there. Okay, so now I went back into my composition, and on the top white layer I'm putting it on multiply so that it'll show the underlayer too. And so what multiply does is it only shows the dark spaces of that layer, which is why only the lettering shows but not the white space. So this way I can show 2 layers at once, and you can do this with a bunch of different footage, and really it's a blending mode. So here I have a frog bike frog. And I'm going to be exporting it by adding it to the render queue, which I find is the quickest. And I'm just going to output it into my filing system, which it has final, audio, project, video, and graphics, and I'm going to put it in the final. So I'm not going to show you guys how long it takes to render because that's forever, but there you go. And that is my tutorial on how to use the paint tool in After Effects. Thanks for watching!